so far.
Yeah, it was, like you said, I got here at the trade deadline, and then obviously playing-wise it was shorter than I hoped, but I think just being back and being able to really get a feel for this group was special for me, and I did get to really, I think, understand how good the core group that we have is, and so I think, I've been enough places to see, like, if you don't have that, I don't think you can be a very good team, and we do, and so I think that was the coolest thing to see is I think we're a group that, can really take that jump, I think.
What I guess the sad part I thought was you were really starting to play some minutes, and it looked like you were going to get some time where you hadn't had much time in Oklahoma City. You could see it out there, and then it got taken away from you so fast.
Yeah, it was, you realize when you get hurt on a play like I did that you can get hurt on pretty much every single play, and I haven't until my 10th year, so I was more than anything just thankful, to be honest, that I had never really been hurt up till now, and I'll be off the crutches within a few weeks, so the injury's not too bad, and hope to be back on the court in about a month.
You talk about the core. What stood out most for you about playing with that core?
Yeah, to me it was, to be honest, I think from a distance watching over the last couple of years to then now, I think being up close with these guys, I realize, I think, how much better they've gotten. And I mean, in terms of around the league, I can't really think of a group of three guys. And I know Jabari, this is really his rookie year. But in terms of that, I think he did a great job. And obviously with Giannis and Chris, I feel like from 2 years ago to who they are now, I can't think of two teammates that have improved as much as they have. So I think that to me shows no one's grown as much as Giannis either, so that's kind of cool. But I think that just shows kind of how much better we can get.
A couple times now you've used we. So what do you think of your future here in Milwaukee?
Yeah, no, I mean, there's no question. I currently am a Buck, but I've always been a Milwaukee guy. So I think, it's no secret that this is where I'd love to be back. I think that I bring something that fits here. The fact that I'm from here is obviously awesome, but I want it to be where I play somewhere that's a good basketball fit for myself as well. And I think in terms of like what the team is now, we're a young group, and hopefully I can be a guy who spreads the floor and can bring some leadership.
They need some veteran leadership, and when you came in, you said, "Hey, I'm ready to take on that role a little bit, like Yao took with you way back in the day."
No, I mean, you look at last year, and I think there's been a lot of comparisons, obviously, between last year and this, and I think we won 41 games last year and 33 this year, and you think about, like, what is the difference? Because, I mean, it's only 8 games. It doesn't really seem like that much, but I think a veteran presence and, guys to kind of be able to kind of navigate the year for the younger guys who aren't really aware of, like, what's ahead and what it's supposed to feel like. I think it makes a big difference, and 8 games, it's enough to you make the playoffs or you don't, and so I think that's why I believe we can really make that jump from 33 to who knows what.
I think a lot of people always think veteran presence is kind of a cliche, where sure, you need veterans, whatever, but what do you think veterans actually do bring? Like, where are the parts of the game where it actually helps to have those veterans around?
I think just culture, to be honest, and perspective. It's a long year. I think as a rookie, second, third year guy, it's like, I remember, you just really don't know what to expect, and you don't really know how it's supposed to feel. And I think culture, it breeds winning. Having veterans around to kind of like not let there be too high of highs and too low of lows, it does add up to wins at the end of the year. And so I think veterans essentially add up to perspective, which allow you to win more games. And I think when you're talking about a team like Utah who is going to make it or miss it by one game, it's like we realize we're at that point where those small differences are going to make first round, second round of playoffs, or not at all. So I think it's really valuable.
Does the direction of the league also put a premium on your skills too?
Yeah, I thank Steph Curry for that. I think I've always been a big believer in shooting the 3-ball, but I think he kind of made it quite a big deal. And teams are changing the way they play and changing the kind of players that they draft and try to go after in free agency because of, I think, what teams like Golden State have done and the way they shoot the ball. So I appreciate everything he's done, and obviously, yes, I think that's why I'm in the league. That's the value I bring, is spreading the floor and allowing the middle to be open. I think about when I was at Marquette, the guys I played with were Wes Matthews attacking the paint and Dominique James, and having the ability to spread the floor and have those guys to get in the paint so we can play off each other, I think is one of the most simple, most valuable things in basketball.
You had that streak with the Knicks that was pretty incredible, and when you led the league in 3-point percentage. When you see Curry today, I mean, do you ever think somebody would be taking shots from where he's taking them?
No. I mean, I think because there was always that thought that it was a bad shot, it was bad offense, it was settling, it was that kind of thing. But now he's averaged 5 made threes per game this entire season, and they won the championship last year, and they're fighting to do it again this year. So I think when that process breeds the results of winning championships and winning games and being an MVP, people start to look at things very differently.
You think I mean, in a small way, remember that time with the Knicks and the Linsanity? You changed that perception a little bit, too.
I take full credit for all of Steph Curry's success. Yeah.
No, but I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, but you made that.
No,
you
yeah.
became really a folk hero in New York for a while, didn't you?
No, we had Coach D'Antoni as our coach, and like I said,
and Mike he always believed in that, right?
he did. He does, and I think having an offense like that where you spread the floor, and guys that, like I said, can play off each other, get in the paint and spread the floor. We had Tyson Chandler, who was rolling down the middle every single possession, opening it up for shooters. So I think it takes the right style of play, and then obviously guys that can make those shots and create.
You think the Bucks can get to that where they can incorporate the three with the slashers, with Giannis, with Jabari?
I mean, no question. I think obviously we weren't the best three-point shooting team in the league, but there are guys that can shoot the three ball, and we have a lot of pieces. I think now that get in the paint, and obviously Chris Middleton is a guy who
he can shoot it.
He's an underrated three-point shooter. Obviously, it's like I feel like the thing about watching him this year to me was the ease that he scores the ball. It's like he has like that Kevin Durant, like you look up and he has 25. And I think it's not that we don't have any of those guys. I just think that being able to continue to add like small pieces and make small changes can make a difference.
I don't mean to bring up old stuff, but going back to Insanity, it was obviously a crazy time in sports, and you were a part of that. What was like the weirdest, craziest thing that happened during that? As somebody that was on a team and with Jeremy Lin at that time, what was like the oddest thing that happened during that time when you were on the team?
I mean, really just that month span. I think that Jeremy played the way he did, I guess known as Insanity. It was something that you felt like it was something bigger was going on. It was like Jeremy had a great game the first night against the Nets. And you're like, wow, like Jeremy just did that. He was about to literally be cut the next day. But then he did it again the next night. And then he had 35 on the Lakers, and Kobe said he didn't know who he was before the game. And the next night it was like Jeremy hit the game winner against Toronto. So it to me was the fact that like it just continued to happen, and you kept saying like, well, that was really fun. Like we know that won't last, but it kept happening. So it was like every game was just kind of like well, Jeremy, we hope you can keep going, because at this point, like, we believe in you now. It's been like 7 games, so it was really just something that I don't think we really expected.